Alright, so here we go. I'm heading north to Alaska, and here's the journey so far. So I started south of Courtenay, around here in Nanaimo, and then cycled following this red line up to Port Hardy. And then the vessel is going to take me through this inner passage all the way up here to Prince Rupert.
Hey, you left Grandma? I left Grandma.
Which is near Alaska and near Haida Gwaii. This is supposed to be one of the most scenic ferry journeys in the world, so I'm taking a day off Scotty and I'm taking that boat there. I was on that ferry for 18 hours and honestly it was badass. For GBR, any guesses what it stands for? For Great Bear Rainforest. Prince Rupert is at the centre, and I was excited to see it. It's wet and rainy, really it's a swamp, and you'd think it'd be hard to attract people to that kind of geography. I mean, I love it, but, well, they were tricked, and in the 1800s, there was an establishment-run campaign across the world to attract people to move to Prince Rupert. When they arrived here, they had more rainfall than anywhere else in the whole of North America, and they were trapped with no roads until they built their own highway that would connect them to Prince George in the centre of BC. The most astonishing road along a river that I've ever cycled. But there is a darkness here. Over the last 50 years, over 50 women have disappeared on this highway. The Yellowhead. The Yellowhead Highway, that gets its name from the Yellowhead Mountain that I'd be cycling to in the national parks along the border of Alberta and British Columbia, 1,100 kilometres away, with just 5 towns on the way. But today, I was enjoying the serenity of a totally new ecosystem. The world here is wild and rural and isolated. I have to plan more carefully now. Not just for my safety, but for my system. My setup. No signal, no satellite, and no hot showers. No regular spot to charge my electronics. But I'd brought a couple of power banks with me and I had a solar panel. And I could utilise power outlets at campgrounds to charge my drone, my Garmin InReach and my essentials. Hey, oh, these hummingbirds are absolutely amazing.
We're allowed to until like middle of August, and then we're told to kind of slow down on it, so then they carry on and stuff. Yeah. Apparently they migrate like all the way down to Mexico, but I don't know. Bill.
Shut up, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a long way. Okay, so that campground did have a hot shower, and it was probably the best shower I've had at any campground. So shout out to Cassix and their Mexican hummingbirds. Hummingbirds, I'll see you in Mexico. My trip was about to go off the rails, or rather, off the wheels. So hear me out. It's my 30th birthday in a couple of days, and I really wanted to be in Alaska for that day. But I wasn't going to make it on the bike I'd have to ride up the Cassiar Highway, a detour from the Yellowhead, for 3 days through bear-infested swamps. Fun. But I was planning to get a lift. So I joined a local Facebook community group and I met Melissa, who set me up with Zach, a rock climber who was going to be taking the journey on the same day.
So the first mountains I pointed out to you were the Cambria Icefield mountains, the pointy ones to the left.
Okay, yeah.
So that's like a gigantic ice field that's right above Stewart. You'll actually see a small tendril that comes down to Stewart.
Right.
So that's the Cambria, and then to the right is an even bigger one.
Yeah.
And that's like Salmon Glacier, Frank Mackey area.
What's the one in the middle?
So that little green corridor that we're about to drive between, that's Bear Pass.
Bear Pass.
And so it's the only logical place that you could even think about building a road. And it's just this perfect corridor. You'll see more how it's lined up in a minute. So this is the Bear Glacier, as you might have guessed. And the waterfalls coming out of the glacier are so big, like you wouldn't dare cross them. Like that's how big that is. The scale, everything's just a lot bigger than you think it is, probably by like twice, because I get fooled all the time.
Zach's stories were incredible, and I've got hours of footage, but I really want to share of us talking and his experiences living in Haida with his dog,
Haida should
Yoti.
just be part of like Canada or BC, you know, whatever. It's if you look on the map, there is way more Alaska coastline to the north than there is Canada coastline to the south. Like, if you look at just the Alaska Peninsula, just the peninsula, the coastline goes around the world 1.5 times.
What?
And that's like a little tiny part of Alaska. And because the road doesn't access the rest of Alaska, people just have small minds. But like, holy shit. There's a float plane, there's boats, there's road access. Like there's a lot of ways to get into some of the coolest, most wild parts of Alaska from Hyder, and if Hyder didn't exist, it wouldn't be that access point.
Before we arrived, I asked him about the Yellowhead Highway Killer.
I just think like, if you're gonna kidnap someone and disappear them, there couldn't be a better place than here. So like,
I don't know if Yoti was excited about highway murder, or more likely the fact that we were next to Alaska. We chilled, we ate, we smoked, and then we heard gunshots. Zach's friend Oli had arrived and invited me to stay with him for a week. This was Haida. The United States of America, and the only border crossing into the States without an official port of entry. So I just walked in. I was really keen to start my trip at the top of Alaska, but I didn't want to start the clock on my visa, and I'd have to do that literally anywhere else in America. I'd have more time in the lower 48. For me, this was the destination, the farthest north, this tiny town of just 40 people, and the start point of my journey from Alaska to Argentina. But even here, something feels wrong, something feels dark. I think we all feel it. I think we all need to pull that light from the dark. No matter what's thrown at us, no matter the challenge, no matter the pain, no matter our limits, or if we go insane, never surrender. Just then, I crashed my drone in deep, salty water. Not a good mix for electronics. With Oli's advice, I figured out it would be safe enough to go and collect it at around 4:30 in the morning when the tide was low. So next, we're going on a rescue mission.